What's up, guys? I want to go through the iteration process when it comes to static ads, image ads that we use, for example, for this brand owners to scale to a consistent $30,000 per day. Okay, so it's going to be a complete cheat sheet. I'm going to walk you through it. I just finished this up, so you can basically just copy paste it. You can also paste this into AI, including your metrics, for example, and then really just do everything automated. But I just really want to explain and walk you through it. Okay, so stage one, right before we even move forward with this cheat sheet, make sure that you have done at least one hook test, right, with multiple hooks that have had a higher than 7% CTR, lower than $70 CPM, and over $2 in amounts spent, right? If you don't know what a hook test is, then definitely go ahead and check out on my channel. I have a bunch of videos about that as well, okay? Second thing is set up a spreadsheet for tracking winning variables and set all the relevant columns in your ad account, which are all these, okay? So I'm going to quickly walk you through the ones that you maybe wouldn't have had expected, right? First of all, I like to look at the conversion rate of each ad. Yes, the conversion rate heavily, in fact, mostly actually depends on your ad and not your offer and website, right? The cost per add to cart, which is one of my favorite metrics because it just tells you so early on how good the ad is going to be and also how scalable the ad is going to be. The add to cart rate, which is just a custom metric, add to cart divided by link clicks. Then we obviously have all the stuff from hook rate to 25% video views to 50% video views to 75% video views to the pitch rate, which are all just like at these different stages divided by impressions. So we just want to see at, percentage wise, how many people are still watching. Okay. This is not going to be interesting for image ads. However, we still want to have the frequency as well, the CPM as well, and obviously all these standard metrics. Okay. And then the third thing is before we move forward with this iteration process, we want to have built and tested and validated our offer, okay? Or at least set up an A/B test with two different offer structures, which are very different from each other and not overpriced on purpose. So the idea is that this shouldn't be the thing that could potentially go wrong, the offer, right? When we're iterating ads, we want to focus fully on the ads. And if we have anything else that could go wrong, what's gonna happen is it probably is gonna go wrong. And then we don't know, is it the offer? Is it the landing page? Is it the funnel? Is it the ads? What is it, okay? You wanna, like when you test something isolated, and when we're iterating ads, we're doing that on an isolated level, very isolated, very important to look in details because we're fine tuning with the traffic that we get. And so what's going to happen is everything else that could go wrong, right? We have to eliminate because otherwise it will go wrong. And so the goal of this is the offer should not be the reason why these ads fail. Stage two, you still don't start iterating your ads if the ROAS of your current best performing ad is above 3, because why is it above 3? Why haven't you scaled it? Raise your budgets until the ROAS is smaller or bigger or equal to, right? So it's essentially between 2 to 3. That's the ideal range. Now, the ROAS of your best performing ad, if the ROAS of your best performing ad is below 1.3, then it's not good enough. And you can't iterate your way out of a terrible performing ad. So test higher impact. Don't just start iterating, right? Your iterations would be too low impact for you right now. So do avatars against each other, test angles against each other, test different concepts against each other before iterating until anything has a 1.3 plus ROAS. And then the third case where you still want to start iterating if the CPM of your best performing ad is above $60. Why? Because essentially this is not going to be scalable. This is going to be super difficult to iterate. You can't iterate your way out of a bad CPM. So what I would do, two things: engagement campaign to warm up the page and get comments on your ad, and maybe change the avatar in the market. This is obviously optional. I definitely run the engagement campaign and definitely start to rage bait people into commenting. Okay, super powerful. Now, stage 3 is when we actually do start iterating the image ads. So stage 3, this is going to be the stuff that I'm going to walk you through in this video, which is use this section of the cheat sheet to iterate your image ads. Here's how it works. So this is a step-by-step process here I'm going to walk you through. Essentially, this is where we actually get into the iterations, but we have all these things prior ticked off. Okay, so step 1 is you'll look at your best performing ad, right? And the best performing ad is just the ad with the highest ROAS or cheapest cost per acquisition. Okay, now look at what's weaker. Is it the CTR or is the conversion rate? That's already the first question that you ask yourself, because once again, we've eliminated the CPM being an issue because we haven't moved on if the CPM is over $60. So in this case, it's either the CTR or the conversion rate that's weaker. How do you determine what's weaker? I'll give you an example. The best ads always have a balance between the CTR and the conversion rate. Example, 4% CTR, 4% conversion rate. This would be a perfect balance, meaning no iteration needed. Other example, 2% CTR, 4% conversion rate. Now we have to iterate on the CTR. There's a lot that we can give up of the conversion rate for a better CTR. And the overall ROAS would be better if we got the CTR up to 3% and the conversion rate all that down to 3%. If we gave up a little bit for the CTR. Same other example, very common thing, right? When people just get out of the hook test, 7% CTR, but 0.5% conversion rate. Here in this case, we have to iterate on the conversion rate because this is the lot weaker metric, okay? So now you know if it is your CTR or your conversion rate that's weaker, right? And even if it's just a 3.9 and 4.1 or whatever, even if it's just a minor difference, you can still squeeze more out of that concept, okay? So if the CTR is worse, we're gonna make 3 batches, so assets, times 3 variations each. So we're gonna make 9 new creatives each, 9 iterations each, every single time that we make an iteration decision. Yes, high volume. I'm a friend of high volume. Then what you're going to do is you're going to remove all the disqualifiers, so-called disqualifiers that you can find. So your logos, you're going to get rid of them. Any price tags or price reveals, get rid of them. Any offer reveals, get rid of them. Any product pictures, get rid of them. Urgency, scarcity, objection handling, anything you could imagine that could basically lead to people clicking off and not clicking on the website, you're going to just get rid of those things. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to shift the focus of the ad, of the visual of the ad, from the product to the problem. Example, product visual, someone holding the product into the camera. Example, product visual turns into product in use, right? Next thing you're going to do, shift the focus from authorities to emotions. So example, doctor to gift receiver. Example, founder ad to unboxing reaction. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to shift the focus from objection handling and features to problems and desires. You're going to be on a deeper, more human, emotional level. Example, no doctor's appointments needed. Instead of saying that, you say just deep sleep as a benefit or a desire. Example, the 3-step skincare system, which will be the mechanism, instead of saying that, you're actually going to say get rid of wrinkles forever. Obviously, that's resonating more with people, but it converts less than the 3-step skincare system because it sounds less cool. It's less salesy. Okay, that's the point of it. We want to get rid of every single disqualifier that we can find. And then when we have those 3 batches times 3 variations each, we're going to retest and then look at the CTR and conversion again. The goal is a more balanced CTR conversion rate, and then we're going to scale again because then the ROAS is going to be better again. And when it breaks below 3, what do? We iterate again, and we go back. What's weaker, okay? So the iteration process is something which you literally never stop doing until you have a perfect balance between CTR and conversion rate. Let me give you an example if the conversion rate is worse, okay? That's the other example. And all you're gonna see here is really just turn all these things around. So what happens is you're going to make, once again, 3 batches times assets, so times 3 variations each, and this time you're going to add in disqualifiers that you can think of. The logo, the price tag, the offer, product pictures, urgency, scarcity, objection handling. You're going to add in those things because now we have a really good CTR and we can give up a big chunk of that for a better conversion rate to get the better balance, right? And so we're going to shift the focus of the ad from the problem to the product. Example, someone holding the product into the camera turns into only a product visual. Example, product in use turns into product visual. Shift the focus from emotions to authorities. So gift receiver turns into a doctor. Example, unboxing reaction turns into a founder ad. Shift the focus from the problems and desires to objection handling and features. Example, deep sleep turns into no doctor's appointment needed. Get rid of wrinkles forever turns into 3-step skincare system. And then once again, you retest and look at the CTR and conversion rate. The goal is a bigger balance, and then you scale again, and then you iterate again. And this is literally it, okay? This is literally it. And then you go back when you have a better balance, you scale. We go back to stage 2. Everything is fine. Everything is ticked off. We do have a ROAS that is below 3, right, and above 1.3. It's ideally better where it's at least spending more money. It's making us more money than before we iterated it. But once again, we can just go back and look again. What's the weaker metric? And the cool thing is, oftentimes you go back and forth with the two. Oftentimes you go back and forth with CTR and conversion rate. And so when you scale the first time and then the conversion rate breaks, and then you iterate on the conversion rate, and maybe then when you keep scaling because it's better again, the next time the CTR might break, right? And you never know these things until you actually push the budgets and actually approach scaling very aggressively until your ads break every single time. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. That was pretty much it. I hope you could learn a thing or two. If yes, then go ahead and write your main takeaway into the comments below. Thank you so much for giving me your most important asset, which is your attention. I wish you a beautiful day.